Welcome to the Be Magnetic podcast. I'm your host Tara, energetic strategist, psychic medium, and your guide to a life and business that feels like a full body fuck yes. If you're ready to move beyond success and step into true peace, pleasure, and prosperity, this podcast is for you. Get ready for unfiltered stories, mindset shifts, and real strategies that will empower you to live and lead with your heart. Together, we'll unlock your highest potential, expand deeply rooted abundance, and shift into soul-led success without sacrificing your authenticity, joy, peace, or freedom. So take a moment, settle in, feel the energy shift, and let's dive into the magic that awaits. Today, we're diving into a simple morning prayer that turned into thousands of dollars, that helped me manifest multiple dream clients, and that has contributed so much to the how well I navigated, let's put it this way, the visa process, both of my husband and of my stepdaughter. And it's just elevated my quality of life, and because it has done so much for me, and it's literally such a simple thing, I wanted to share it with you so you can use it for yourself as well. So the way this episode is structured is that I want to do some storytelling first and kind of explain a little bit why this morning prayer is so powerful, and then I'm going to share exactly what I'm doing in the morning that is helping me to attract multiple clients and really manifest like difficult things. I'm not sure if you know, but scientifically speaking, morning routines or just consistent habits are so incredibly powerful. So in 2018, there was a study published in the Lancet Psychiatry in the UK, and it examined the relationship between the cardinal rhythms and mental health. And so what basically happened was that they researched, examined, tested the impact of irregular daily activities like sleep rhythm, waking times, things like that, and their effect on mood disorders and depression and all of that stuff. And what they found was that people who had more irregular daily patterns, they would experience greater levels of or let's say, put it this way, lower levels of happiness and health satisfaction. So they would feel like more likely to feel depressed or unhappy or dysregulated. And so that is basically proof that a morning routine or just some sort of routine, even an evening routine, something that we do consistently, does not only have a positive effect on our mental health, but it also really helps us to increase our happiness, our quality of time, our even faith and positive thinking, which in turn again results in us manifesting the things that we want and manifesting a better experience of life. And I do personally believe that, especially as business owners, where sometimes our lives can be very chaotic and very uncertain and very demanding in terms of, the emotional resilience that we have to bring to the day to sustain the stress levels and the uncertainties and all of that stuff, they're so much bigger. And so if we can have a somewhat consistent practice, it doesn't have to be in the morning, but a somewhat consistent practice throughout the day that helps us to reconnect with our strength, that helps us regulate our nervous system, that helps us bring some of that confidence, that regulation, that faith back, we can approach the challenges in our lives and face the challenging moments, like the moments where we start doubting, where we're not sure if something works out, if something comes through. We can approach them with more confidence and with more certainty, and we eventually then don't roller coast so much with our emotions, and we can keep our faith and our belief throughout all, which in the end is the reason why we manifest things. So the this whole conversation was inspired for me last year when I realized that, okay, my mental health was so bad that I would literally doubt everything. And I started to, during my self retreat, I started to really consistently every day do something for my mental health, whether that was EFT tapping or meditation or journaling. I just did something to improve my mental health, my beliefs, my thought patterns, to get into a bit more of a positive thinking so that I could actually believe in the fact that I can sign dream clients again, and that I can grow my business and my income, and that I can, create the life that I desire for myself. Because before, I wasn't really sure that I could. And if I'm being honest, there are still moments and days sometimes where I think I can't. And so having this morning prayer or just this consistent practice really helps me to keep the faith, and again, to navigate moments where I start doubting, which then again helps me push through it or navigate through it, and then makes me stay with it, and then that returns into the positive outcome. That being said, there is so many different things that we can do throughout the day that don't necessarily specifically that prayer, although this prayer is very powerful, and I'm going to get into why. There's multiple other things that you can do, and I highly recommend you do them aside, like with that morning prayer, throughout like the weeks and months as well. So things that I've done, for example, is I've attended more cacao ceremonies, which really helped me to like ritualize my life more and bring more of that magic and more of that mystery into my life, like make it a bit more of a ceremony, which again also reminds me on a regular basis, which is every time I go to one, that there is greater powers at work, that life is so much more than just achieving those milestones, right? Or even, my desire to host the sister circle journey and these workshops, they're all funded in just giving women the space to reconnect with themselves and with their essence and with their power and with their magic, so that they can navigate through the everyday demands that sometimes throw us off course. Okay, so there's many things that you can do, but this morning prayer is so powerful. So let's get into the storytelling. So you guys know that I have been wanting to host this sister circle, and it's been very challenging for me to manifest this, because at first I thought it's going to be so easy, this is going to be so cool, I'm just going to do it like the other workshops that I've been hosting, and like not from the content but like from the approach. So I'm going to approach studios and start collaborating, and it turned out so difficult because I got just rejections over and over again, and it was like, maybe this is not meant to be, and like I went down this entire thread hole basically. And so what I've done is over the course of maybe 2-3 weeks, I intentionally cited my morning prayer with this manifestation in mind. And so what that did was, I not only just released the attachment and the negative energy I've done or I've had tied to this, because I've literally said, like, a part of the morning prayer is, please transmit everything that is mine and emphasize everything that is mine. And so I've intentionally released that, but I've also opened myself up to receive guidance and trust and support from the universe on this journey. And I've had this in the back of my mind for a couple weeks when I cited my morning prayer, and that immediately just reinstalled the confidence. And so someone reached out to me for like a potential collaboration. There's nothing like set in stone yet, but I also had a powerful insight into how I can bring this to life. And so this is in the works now. And because I was able to shift my relationship with it, my emotions around it, I was able to open myself up again to receive the insights and receive the opportunities that would help me move forward on this journey in a more aligned way. A similar example where I applied the morning prayer was the visa process. So the visa process, you guys know, has been very difficult. There's been so many hurdles and challenges, and even in the last couple of weeks, like while we were in Thailand, there's been such a big challenge coming up, and this has been probably the hardest challenge, not because it jeopardizes the visa process, but it changes the journey of how it's gonna manifest. And this was very hard for me to accept, because a big part of what kept me going was the vision of how it's gonna manifest. And so again, I mean, this specific instant needed a bit more like energy work than just a morning prayer, but the morning prayer definitely helped a lot, because while I was in Thailand, I was like, okay, I don't want this to ruin my vacation, so I do want to acknowledge it. I don't want to suppress it, because I know there's nothing good ever coming from suppressing things, but I also don't want to like spend hours doing energy work now, or like get too deep into it, because I really want to enjoy this vacation. So what I've done again is I have cited the morning prayer with this in mind. Again, release the attachment, release the negative energy towards it, and asked for guidance. I opened myself up, and again, immediately I received the downloads and the calls for solutions to it. I'm still processing the way that it will manifest differently, but at least we resolved it, right? We found a solution so that the visa isn't jeopardized. So those are just a couple examples. Let's get or like the last example, maybe because I'm gonna bring it up later again, was in January. So I went into the year knowing that, okay, I'm not going to open up too many spots until the autumn, the fall, because of everything that I have going on, but I still wanted to fill a couple spots with clients, because I knew that I had the capacity. But obviously we were in Cuba, and I was still like getting out of my pivot year retreat phase, and I was like, okay, I don't want to put pressure on myself, I don't want to focus on this too hard. And so literally just for the entire month of January, I cited this mantra. And again, I cited it with the intention that I'm channeling this energy and the intentions of what I'm saying in the morning prayer towards filling these spots. And they all filled. They all filled in the most magical ways while me being on vacation and like literally not being online. And like I think I posted to my story like 4 times the entire month or something like that. And it's because I channeled the positive energy and the intention towards this desire. Okay, so let's go into the personal morning prayer and what it actually looks like. So what I'm saying to myself, or not to myself, I'm actually saying it to spirit every single morning. And what I love about this also is that you can do it anywhere. It doesn't take long. You can also like say it silently in your mind if you're on a train or in a car or wherever in the plane, and you can't or don't feel comfortable saying it out loud. You can just say it in your mind. The key though to this prayer is intention. So you want to say it while you're actually feeling it. So you want to put intention and energy behind the words that you're saying. So I always start with, dear universe, guides, angels, guards, and energies of the highest good. So I address everything, God, universe, angels, guides, and energies of the highest good. I address everything because I do believe everything is in some way, shape, or form present. And so why not call in all the support that we can get? And sometimes I will also go into, I'm calling up on my higher self, my spirit guides, my guardian angels. It always starts like that. The universe, gods, angels, guides, and energies of the highest good. Thank you for protecting what is mine and transmitting into light what isn't mine. Again, releasing. Thank you for alchemizing what no longer serves me and emphasizing what does serve me. Again, releasing. Thank you for protecting my family, my husband's family, and our little cat. This is just like a personal thing that I do because one of my biggest fears is like losing someone, and so this just makes me feel comfortable and it calms my anxiety. You don't have to like actually integrate that. Then I will also go into thank you for, and I will just say the abundance in my life, the money, the clients, whatever comes to my mind, what I'm grateful for. I'm ready and open to receiving more of that. Again, opening myself up to receiving all the blessings. Then I go into I'm ready and open to receive your guidance, your messages, your insights. Again, opening myself up to receive the guidance from source regarding my desires. Whenever and however you're wanting to transmit them, stating that I'm not attached to when or how this is going to come through, but just staying open. I'm ready and open to receive. I also then go into, because I'm a medium and a spiritual guide, I do go into, I'm ready and open to be your medium, to be your channel, just to open up again, like my psychic gifts. And I also do this, by the way, before client sessions, which is a part of why they're so powerful. And then I go into saying, please use me in the ways that best serve you. Thank you for trusting me. This again is slightly more tailored towards opening up my psychic channels, but it's still a good phrase to say, because at the end of the day, as heart-centered women who want to make a difference, we want to serve the greater collective. So saying this allows you to just be guided by source in ways that serve the greater collective. So that is basically it. It's simple as that. This is what I say every single morning. Again, the key is to say it with intention, and to put energy into the words that you are actually saying. Okay, so let's dissect this and look at why every single part of this prayer is so potent and how it actually helped me manifest my multiple dream clients and so many other beautiful things. So again, I am calling upon greater support by directly speaking to them, which again is putting yourself out of the full responsibility, right? It's not just you creating this, it's not just you responsible for the outcome, but there's other higher powers that are at work with this as well, which creates some sort of a detachment, which is very good, because when we are attached, we put things on a pedestal, and when we put things on a pedestal, we are not in alignment with them, because then the thing is here and we are here, so we can't have the same frequency. So we want to take it down from the pedestal, detach from it, so we can get on a frequency with it. Then again, we are the second segment, we are emphasizing what serves us, all the energies, the beliefs, the stuff that's serving us, and we're releasing what no longer serves us, which again is so powerful to release the doubt, the fear, the insecurities that are holding us back, or that are telling us that what we want is too big for us, that we are not abundant, we're not capable enough, that the obsession, the attachment, it's just releasing all of that. And again, the key here is to put intention into it and really feel into what you're releasing, what you're letting go of, while also reaffirming to yourself that that which is meant for you will find you and will not pass you by. The third sequence is then the gratitude. So here we want to be extremely grateful for all the things we already have. I always, in January, right, I thanked Spirit for the abundance and the success that I have received, although I haven't signed clients at all over the last few months before that, because I was on a retreat. In the whole 2024, I hardly signed, I think I signed hardly any clients, really, because I was so focused on healing and realigning myself and my business that it just didn't have a priority. And so just being grateful still for what you have and the abundance that you've received and all of that is so powerful. And it's again putting you on the frequency with the desire and the outcome that you actually want to manifest, as opposed to what you don't want to manifest. Then the next sequence, which is opening yourself up to receive messages and guidance. Again, this is probably the most potent part, because it's actually going to allow you to tap into collective consciousness and download the wisdom around what needs to be done. And for me in January, there was nothing coming through, and sometimes that can throw us off course, because we're like, okay, am I doing this right or whatever? But I knew that at this moment there was nothing that needed to be done, and sometimes there's nothing that needs to be done, and things still manifest because we're constantly aligning ourselves with our desires. And then the last part is obviously, again, thanking the universe for trusting you, for giving you this responsibility, especially when it comes to making money and clients. Like, money is power, and when you work with human beings, you have great impact because in some way, shape or form, you influence them. You deal with a human life, with a human soul, and you guide them on their path. Stating that you don't take this responsibility lightly, that you'll use your power that is given to you through the abundance, through the money, and through the influence. You're gonna use that wisely. You're going to use that in the best intention for the greater collective. That's going to be so powerful because, again, it sends out this energetic frequency of I'm ready, I'm just worthy and deserving of having this impact because I have good intentions at heart with this. So that is the juice. I want to wrap this up by saying that the biggest manifestation hack is really just holding space and trusting that it will happen. And this is exactly what this morning prayer does for you. It allows you to hold space and trust that it will all unfold in divine timing as it's supposed to be. And it allows you to tap into your own magnetic field first thing in the morning, which again is so much more powerful than hustle because you first thing in the morning put yourself into alignment with the energy and the frequency that you want to cultivate and receive back into your life. And so setting yourself up this way first thing in the morning, whether it is through this morning prayer or through something else, is going to help you make the actions that you're taking later that day so much more powerful because you've set the intention, you've aligned your energy, and so now you go out into the world and do things with the right intention and with the right energy. So that's how things bear fruits. That's how you then create the outcome that you're desiring. Okay, that being said, make sure to tune into the episode, the number 1 reason you're unfulfilled. This also helps you to kind of get into this real aligned energy to call in the things that you're desiring. And also the episode 111, what you've been told about manifestation is all wrong. This is going to open up your perspective around some myths and things that people tell you about manifestation that aren't actually so helpful, I guess. Which are both great episodes to dive deeper into this topic and make this process of manifestation and building abundance and success and a beautiful life even more powerful. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure to screenshot this, tag me and share it to your story, telling me your biggest takeaway. I always love reading those, receiving those, and then make sure to tune into the podcast next time. Bye. Thank you for hanging out with me. It was a blast. If you're new here, then make sure to subscribe to the show to not miss any new episodes. And if you haven't done so, please feel free to give the show a 5-star rating. This means the absolute world to me since it helps the show to grow and allows me to bring more incredible guests and episodes your way. With that being said, until next time,